Hello there. I want to talk to two categories of people. My name is Dan Williams, and this is my wife.
Becky Dan Williams.
One category are those that are planning to get married, and the second category are those who are already in marriage. If you are planning to get married, if you are of a marriageable age, and you are burdened or worried or wondering if you can succeed in marriage, I want to assure you that with God on your side, with the right choice of a partner, success is yours. Marriage is indeed a blessing. Marriage is what completes a young man and a young woman. Marriage causes you to fulfill your destiny to the fullest. You need to get married.
You don't need to be afraid. Marriage is sweet. Marriage is to be enjoyed. You don't need to be afraid of getting there. Just get there.
So please don't fear. Don't fear to get married. Just commit it unto the Lord. A lot of problems or people that have challenges in marriage is because of the wrong foundations in getting married.
Yes.
Now, as a person wanting to get married, I will expect you to foremostly have an understanding of the leading of God. Not all women are wives. Not all men are husbands. And not all women can be your wife, nor all men can be your husband. For every woman, there is a man. For every wife, there is a husband, and for every husband there is a wife. So you need to know who is your wife in the whole scheme of things. If you are in a community, a small community of probably a church or a union or a work environment, and there are a lot of young ladies around you or a young man around you, and you are wondering who is your wife or who is your husband, the best you can do is to go to God in prayer. In the book of Romans chapter 8 verse 14, the Bible said, as many as are led by the Spirit of God, they are the sons of God. The Bible also said that he who finds a wife finds a good thing and obtains favor from the Lord. So marriage is good, but you need to be led by the Spirit of God so that you will make the right choice. It's only the Spirit that knows the secret things in a man's heart. The Spirit will help you know the right choice in marriage. And once you make that right choice, favor becomes your portion. The state that you are now becomes the least state in your life, because your life begins to become better and better. Just like the path of the righteous, it becomes better and better unto a perfect day. I also want to talk about preparations for marriage, because the Bible said when the foundation is faulty, what can the righteous do? The foundation of every marriage preparation is a determinant of the success of that marriage. How do you prepare for your marriage? I'm talking to a brother, I'm talking to a sister. Everybody that is planning to get into marriage need to prepare deliberately. It's a journey of life. God said he hates divorce. So you know that once you enter, if you are a child of God, you have no way to come out of it. So you really need to prepare to know the right person that you need to marry. The first thing I mentioned is you need to understand the leading of God. You need to understand the leading of God. And you remember, you were talking about something some time ago. People wanting to get married who are not prepared for marriage themselves. They are not matured. They are not fit to be wives. They might not be fit to be husbands also.
You know, a lot of ladies in particular think when I get married, I will do the rest in marriage. No, you prepare it before marriage.
Oh, yes.
Marriage is not just about having sex. Because a lot of ladies think they can use sex to cover up some other issues.
Like
we've seen people in marriage that are breaking up because of common,
little
just
things like
little
even hygiene,
yes, and that has,
hygiene.
brought a lot of challenges in marriage.
And for those of you who are in marriage, I want to also encourage you. Your marriage might be troubled now. You are wondering. It's like you have entered a one chance. Just like they say in social parlance, have you entered one chance? You have not entered one chance. The devil is against everything that is good. The devil is against the works of God. The devil is against the will of God. And that is why we pray, let your kingdom be on earth as it is in heaven. So you need to understand this, that the devil might revolve around your marriages, but the devil cannot dissolve what God has planned for the two of you. Your spouse might be getting off track, or you might not be understanding. I will encourage you to pray. The first thing I will encourage you to do is to pray. And somebody somewhere might be saying right now that I have been praying. You know what? You remember what they normally say, I have been praying. But I want to tell you something. It is not the first hammer that struck the wall that brings the wall down, nor the second, third, fourth, or fifth. Even the last hammer is not the one that brings the wall crumbling down. It is a cumulative of the hits of the hammer on that wall that causes the wall to crumble down. So your prayers, those that you have prayed before, those that you are going to pray, and those that you are praying now, are a cumulative of what will bring the devil down in your marriage. Besides that, I want you to take stock. I want you to go down memory lane. Where did this problem begin? Some problems could be caused by external influences. Some other problems might be caused by change in social status. Will Smith said something I will never forget. He said, money does not change people. It is people. Money brings out what is inside people. So your spouse might have another plan, another ambition, might have been deprived of a good life in the past, and now he wants to have that great life because his status had changed. We could have problems with that. For the external influence, it could be a friend, it could be a family member that is influencing your marriage. A few days ago, a lady called me and asked me to intervene in her marriage. Her husband had already left, and she asked us to intervene in her marriage. I called her husband up and I asked him to please hold on all hostilities and give me the opportunity to see how I can help salvage his marriage. And while he was talking to me, he said something that struck my mind. He said she had gone diabolic. I said, what do you mean by she had gone diabolic? She's a Christian. He said, I found her putting substance, that's what he said, powdery substance in my beverage. Yes. He said he found that she was putting powdery substance in his beverage. So I asked him to hold on, and I called her back. To my amazement, she told me that she got cancelled by another woman who felt he was under a spell by his ex-girlfriend and offered to give her a powdery substance that will neutralize the spell from his head. And that was the last straw that broke that marriage. She is supposed to be a Christian, a believer. She had no business with substance, but you can see wrong counsel, external influence can damage a marriage. It might be also, such counsel can come from relatives, can come from anywhere. So you have to be careful what counsel you hear. Then the other stock I want you to take is, how is your status now? It could be financial status that affects your social status. It could be better than before, it could be bad now. And if it's bad now, the man or the woman might be losing faith in the marriage, thinking that the end has come. They don't want to suffer. They don't want to go through this challenge alone. They don't want to go through any kind of trouble or struggles like they are now experiencing in the marriage. But all these things can be talked about. You can talk about these things with your spouse. Something that I know, nobody marries his enemy.
Yes.
Whoever married anybody married that person because he or she loves that person.
Yes.
And there is love somewhere in the heart of that person. I will encourage you to have dialogue with your spouse, discuss your challenges, your burdens. And love is patient, love is perseverance, love is tolerance, love is kind. You need to have this in your discussion. You need to do whatever you can do to save that marriage before all options of dialogue are exhausted and nobody can do anything about it. A lot of people, you know, we have had challenges where a lot of people will let their problems known to us when it
has gone
so sour and almost late to do anything about. So please take stock now and let somebody who is certified, a certified counselor, somebody who is neutral, come into that marriage and see how they can help you with that problem. God's intention for marriage is for both of you to mutually enjoy yourselves in that marriage. When I say mutually, the benefits might not be equated in terms of quantity or quality, but the benefit of marriage to the man might be slightly different from the benefit a woman derives from marriage. So you must be ready to own up to your responsibility as a man. Let me give you an example. A man needs to provide security to his family. Are you responsible enough to secure a wife? What do I mean by security? Security, I mean food security, I mean social status security, I mean security as security. Now, all these securities are the responsibility of a man because he is the head of a home. If you cannot secure yourself, if you are not responsible enough to understand what security is, you go out at will, you come back at will, you live your life as you like without thinking of somebody else in your life, then you are not ready to get married. Talking about being responsible, I think it also has to do with our parenting. I asked a young man some time ago, if his wife was not home and he was going to prepare something for his wife. He said something very funny to me. He said, if I boil water, it will burn, meaning he doesn't know how to cook anything. And I wonder how he was brought up. Cooking is not a woman's thing. Keeping a house is not a woman's thing. Everybody will want to lean and depend on anybody that they can be sure of keeping what they have gathered even when they are not there. You cannot have a man, you cannot build a home and you have a man that cannot keep a home. Keeping a home, cooking is keeping a home. Hygiene is keeping a home. Being able to take care of the children is keeping a home.
Yes.
So there are a lot of things that entail keeping a home. It's not going out to make money and bring money and drop on the table that keeps a home. So we need to show some measure of responsibility. When we say responsibility, we talk of responsibility by definition. Being responsive, being there when you are needed, being reliable, being worthy to be trusted, that you are there, somebody is sure that somebody is there. It's not you are there and it's as good as nobody is there. We need to be responsible. Doing the domestic chores does not make you irresponsible as a man. It's an old culture, thinking that when you do the dishes, you are not responsible. In fact, the marriage that sticks together is the marriage that does things together. I hope you will join us on our next episode of Perfect Union Initiative, where we dissect relationship issues. Follow us on social media networks displayed on the screen. God bless you until we come your way again. I remain Dan Williams.
Becky Dan Williams.
Bye.
Bye.